What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Alchemy Pay today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are. Here we are at about 2.7447 cents right now. We do have some interesting dynamics at play here, I think, on the 4-hour time frame. If we look at the daily time frame, just zoom out a little bit, and maybe even the weekly. Let's start here. You are in this more broad of a accumulative pattern, right? It seems as though it's bullishly charged, that we would, when it comes time to break out, it will be to the upside, and you probably will see prices that inevitably go to your all-time high areas. Something around 12 cents, maybe even 25 cents or higher is possible. You've got a lot to look forward to, okay, over the weeks to come, over the months to come. You got a lot of work to do to the upside, and not that much left to do to the downside, if any at all. You look at the daily time frame and where we are here. You did have a lot of volume yesterday. You came in, right? Big wick to the upside, but somebody just probably fat fingered it or whatever, or somebody put a heavy hand in it down here. Well, however you want to phrase it. But we went up to the 382, found some resistance just above it. That's very common to do. And now we are actually finding support at the 236. And what it looks to me, and it might be even more obvious on a 1 hour time frame, it looks to me like you're getting higher lows with a kind of flat top here. And yes, while you did sell off here, that's not really above average volume for what you've seen throughout this range. I'm not convinced that you're going lower. This might just be a shakeout event, a bullish or a bear trap kind of event right there. And you might be going higher. You actually might be going higher. Going from your 382 to your 236, man, that sets you up for a nice move up to your golden ratio. And being at 2.7 cents now, those are prices that are likely going to be above 4 cents, man. I really do think this thing looks like it wants to go higher at this point, but I want to look at the indicators, and let's just see here. The 1 hour RSI looking good, lower lows with higher lows. That's hidden bullish divergence. The 4 hour time frame here, lower lows with higher lows. That's hidden bullish divergence as well. It really seems to me as if you should have found resistance in this, and you did find resistance in this area. Let's be real. But if you were to go lower, I think you would have done it by now. You wouldn't be grinding this area like this. So I'm assuming ACH, Alchemy Pay, you're probably, if we think of it like this, right? You're in this area on a closing perspective. I'm going to delete the fibs now. Okay, delete the fibs so there's less lines. You were in this area before, and then you broke down and came down here, right? Now you're consolidating at the base of this area. If you are to break out and go higher, you probably return back to this high. You probably return back to these high points here. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you FOMO'd in at the top, please don't sell here, because you likely will have an opportunity to break even or even see more gains than that. And that's just in the short term. That's over the coming days, let alone over the coming weeks and months. And this is really good because if Alchemy Pay does something like this, it continues to grow while Bitcoin's figuring itself out and it hasn't dropped yet. This really sets Alchemy Pay up in a good position to not see a lower low than this. This really could be its low all the way down there at about 2 cents. That very well could be the instant or the reality here. If we're looking at the price and just assuming we stop somewhere around the top of this range, maybe stop higher, and assume that the average coin's going to drop anywhere from like 15 to 25%, maybe more than that, you know, to see a new low, you'd have to drop down 36%. And that just seems a bit too intense to me. And not that it can't happen. Who cares what I think? But I don't think that you see a new low, man. I think the reality of it is if you do exactly what I'm thinking you're going to do, which is pump from here, then yeah, maybe that is your low. Maybe Alchemy Pay is one of the first coins that we talk about semi regularly here that we can celebrate is at a low, and that makes total sense. We were expecting it to go a little bit below this low even originally, but as of right now, I mean, you look at the weekly time frame, man. You look at this setup. That's actually a really nice setup. This is what you call a spinning top, or it's actually a spinning bottom. Doge. It is a spinning top, but not top as in at the top. It's like if you took a top and you spun it. They call it a spinning top doji. And at the bottoms, at the tops, they tend to mark reversals. Reversals, right? You had a similar one down here, but that's a dragonfly doji. Something kind of similar to that here, something kind of similar to that here. But this it's a very good pattern. And the way that you're reacting this week already, it's really nice. You guys, if this week, if in the next, and by the way, the time frame that we were looking at, the time frames that we were looking at, the 4 hour and the 1 hour that suggest these moves are going to happen, that would imply that it's going to happen over the next like few days, right? If not today or tomorrow, it's going to happen in a very short amount of time. We have a very short amount of time left in this week. You guys, if you can close above this weekly closing point here, which I think you're in a good position to do, honestly, as long as you get going and you don't really retrace from here, that's a really powerful signal. That doesn't mean that you're going right through the roof immediately. It could mean that, but likely it would. I mean, absolutely, it would validate this as a low. I think if you could close this week above 3.133 cents, it would even closing here just a little bit higher, any of this, man, it would really help validate the notion that this is the low. I think that it would look really damn good. If we're looking at this from an overall consolidation accumulation phase right here, right, and we take, maybe I should take something with more history on it. Come on, internet. Oh man, I'm so ready for Starlink. It's happening. It's so happening. We're gonna get the whole Starlink package, baby. I'm gonna get my own satellite. From a high to a low here, consolidating below the golden ratio like this, grinding it out month after month, week after week, whatever. It's taken a lot of time, but when it comes to breaking through, there's no there's really no possibility that I see you stopping anywhere else than somewhere in this zone at a bare minimum, right? You could very well, with the magnitude of this pattern, with the size of it and the time that it's taken, very well move up to your all-time highs and even through them. I'm not saying this will happen, but 43 cents is a possibility. It's a possible target you should consider. I don't think you go there, but it's a possible target you should consider. This is the magnitude of the move that we're dealing with, guys. It's a big deal. This is big shit that we're dealing with here, okay? From the current price, at about 2.7 cents, 12 cents to me at a 1618 extension here based off of this more momentary fib in the consolidation phase. That makes sense to me as a minimum target. I like that. 12 cents is your minimum target. What would that be on the price, right? That's like a 6x, 7x. No, I'm sorry. I did my math wrong. I like doubled it for some reason. It's a 4x, not a 6x or a 7x, my bad. And from the or to the next targets, the all-time high area, that would be about a 6x. Yeah, 6.5x. If you do go higher than if you go higher than 20 cents, you likely won't stop until you see 30 cents or higher. That implies a 10x move or bigger, and you very well could see something that's as high as maybe a 17x or a 15x, something in that kind of range could happen. All from these low points here. So very exciting stuff. Very exciting to see this. It's behaving a little bit differently than I originally anticipated, but you got to call a spade, man. Whenever you see this, you're looking to find resistance in these areas, and you just aren't doing it. You're actually being rather defiant right now, Alchemy Pay, and you're very, very, very bullish position right now to move up from here. I would love it. I would really love it. And I think I speak for all of us whenever I say that moving up above this weekly closing or weekly opening period, that would be really nice. Even if you don't close above it this week, that's fine. You don't have to, but this is definitely a nice setup for a reversal of the downtrend and a continuation of what will inevitably be your breakout to the upside here. And yeah, I think you're just in a really good position. I didn't expect this when I was looking at it today, but damn, bro, it's looking good. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but Alchemy Pay is looking good. It definitely has the green light, in my opinion, for a buy here. The only thing is, you are up like 13% from yesterday's lows. If you are buying here, you have to accept the possibility that you could return back to these lows. If you can't handle that, then don't buy here. Look for something that's at a low point that hasn't moved up yet. But I don't think this thing has gotten away too far yet. I think you're still at a relatively good area to buy. Absolutely, it gets a green light down here. From a high to a low, you're just above your 236. The most ideal areas to buy on anything are below the 236. That's the most ideal. It's still very ideal. I always think it's very ideal if you're buying below the 0.5, right? So you're because you're under half of this move, right? You've got like more than half of that move to give back, and then probably more than that if you do extend out of it, which you probably do. So another thing, I guess I'll end on this note here, is that what makes me think that you will break out on this next attempt. Why am I so certain that you're going to break out on this next attempt? Well, there is such a thing as a blow off top. There is such a thing as a double top. There is such a thing as a triple top, but there's no such thing as a quadruple top. It doesn't happen. You're going to break through it on this next move. You're going to, okay? And if you don't, you're definitely not going to pull back here, right? That's probably, I shouldn't say definitely. Anything can happen, but the more that you interact with this, it's just inevitable at that point, right? Three tops, technically, sure, you could go lower. This could be a triple top. If it was a triple top, you'd go below this low and you'd go lower, right? But it's not a triple top. Likely it's not, because it's just an incomplete thought of a breakout of this pattern overall. The fourth instance, even if you find a little bit of turbulence there, it's just a matter of time before you break out of it. And I'm very confident that from here you're on your way. You're on your way. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Good job, Alchemy Pay. Love seeing it. You're showing a lot more life than and it's good to see stuff like this, because you're showing life now before you've even made a majority of this move to come. So it's still at an opportunity where if people are looking for something that might grow in a short amount of time, this is a good thing to get into. But please don't do the thing where you sell your boring coin for the coin that you're now excited about. Please don't do that, because you never know. Alchemy Pay might only go to 12 cents. You'll only get a 4.3x. I know, so sad. But the coin that you sell might do a 10x. It might, don't go. I don't know if you should get shiny object syndrome and just see the potential of this thing and forego any other plays that you had, right? Don't do that. But not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. I definitely do believe if you're trying to get into this, it's probably going to do well for you in the short term, and probably in the long term as well. And it's a good time to get in now. It's kind of like a last call, all aboard moment here. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.